So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Gotham Season 5, Episode 13. No, wait, yeah, what? No, what? Let's try that again. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Gotham Season 5, Episode 6, titled 13 Stitches. A lot of things happen in this episode, so this might be a rambly one, but, ow, let's get straight to it. Welcome, all Gothamites. Welcome to a brand new Gotham Season 5 review of 13 Stitches, and this is episode 6, and this episode was good. I was most looking forward to the creation of Bane, which happened towards the end of this episode, but there was a couple of things that I didn't really like, to be honest, and I don't care what anyone says or what Gotham says. Oh, that was so Gotham. I do not agree with it, but stick around to a certain part of the video to find out what that was. But anyway, no, this episode was enjoyable. We've got quite a few bombshells, some coming to fruition of the predictions that I made in terms of Barbara. But yeah, let's dive straight into this straight away before doing a little intro review, and subscribe to this channel if you're brand new, guys, of course, for more Gotham updates just like this. I do want to let every single Gothamite out there know that there is a green band trailer coming out, you know, a little take on the Ace Chemicals green. Basically it's gonna be a whole, you know, typical white band Jeremiah Jerome kind of trailer that we've had in the past, and it will be catapulted into the, you know, back half of this season. But if it's not out today or tomorrow, just know that it is coming. I've just got a lot of videos to do. I've got a Doom Patrol review that I will be getting up for any DC Universe fans. If you're a fan of Titans, you will know about Doom Patrol. But let's get into this review. I've said that about 1,000 times now. So with Gotham having you know, a shorter episode run, I feel like the episodes are kind of continuing off as of the end of the previous episode. So in this episode we had Jim on the run from the end of last episode, so he must have been on the run for quite some time, because it's dark now. I could be wrong, it might have been dark at the end of last episode, but either way, we have the Riddler coming after him because Eduardo sent the Riddler after him, because the Riddler has a chip in his head. Kind of little brief recap there. As we all know, he's under control by Walker because she hired Hugo Strange to put chips in not only Nigma's head but Lee as well, and that is another thing as well, guys. Lee is back this episode, but we'll get to that. I do want to get the Penguin and Magpie stuff out the way though. I'm not trying to brush past it. It's just I have got so much to talk about, I feel, in this review, that I feel like I could kind of skim over this quite quickly. So Penguin and Selina, I really enjoyed them this episode. It was really fantastic. Oswald Cobblepot, as many of you guys know, is kind of truly my OG favorite character in Gotham, not just villain but character in general. It's nothing new that these two are really good friends in real life, so you can really see that play on screen as well, and I bet they loved filming this together. But as we know, Penguin has a treasury, and in this, that's what we saw in last episode, and in this episode we know that Magpie is going after all of it. It was a fun back and forth. We even got like Selina chopping off people's fingers and stuff like that in self-defense, to be fair, and you know, that's kind of, at first I was shocked, but I was like, to be fair, she could have gone too far and killed them, because that's what they were kind of giving off the vibe before, and when she was fighting the mutant gang leader. But it's cool to know that she's still, you know, being brought back through this potion, hasn't, you know, created this crazy murderous machine of a Selina Catwoman. But yeah, basically people are after Selina because she's the killer of Jeremiah Valeska, and everyone wants to up their street cred, but little does she know that he's still alive. I can't wait to find out her reaction to that, by the way. But essentially Penguin hires Selina because Selina is like a jack of all trades. Like, she knows everyone, she can do a lot of things. She's kind of the person you would come to in this, and she struck a deal to, you know, get some of the stuff from Penguin in terms of his treasury. Basically, in a nutshell, I did enjoy Magpie. She was cool. But what I really didn't enjoy is Gotham killed her off. Now, I do not want anyone, well, yeah, I mean, fair enough, go ahead and say it, but for me, I don't dig the whole, oh, that's so Gotham, like, you know, that's what Gotham does. Why introduce a Batman villain? I know Magpie's not up there in the rogues gallery or anything, but then kill them off. It's not necessary, Gotham. You don't have to do that. Do not bring up, well, it's the last season, so, you know, if we had loads more seasons, I wouldn't be surprised if we got Magpie back again. Yes, even after, like, a couple of bullets in her. But yeah, you know, it's just, you don't have to kill every character off. Just let her escape off into no man's land, and let us fans imagine in this Gotham future universe that we're never going to get, you know, well, we're getting 10 years in the future, but you know what I mean. In future seasons, you know, let us imagine that this Magpie will still be a pest in Gotham for Batman. But nope, you killed her off, and this has been done quite a few times before. And yes, I do not think that this will be the last time this season another Batman villain will get killed off before Batman is even Batman. It's just what Gotham does, and I'm tired of using that as an excuse. I loved hearing Penguin compare himself to Alexander the Great. It's kind of true in the sense that, you know, once he conquered everything, he looked at his like kingdom and he wept for there was nothing more to conquer. Penguin wants to leave Gotham apparently because he kind of feels the same way. Now, you know, Penguin will always be in love with Gotham really, but this I think is tying in that I have behind the scenes photo shot, if I remember correctly, of the submarine, Penguin submarine. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is where that is going and it kind of goes wrong for one reason or another, but yeah, expect something to go along that direction. I really loved the Alfred and Bruce moment this episode. So we knew that Bruce was really suspicious of Bane's men, or should I say Eduardo at this point. I think he was talking to Bird. I quite liked it when he stood up to him. It did kind of make me feel a little bit like, dude, this guy would knock you out even though you are Bruce Wayne. So like him getting in his face like that, I was just a bit like, yeah. But then, you know, suspension of disbelief, this is Bruce Wayne, even though he is a kid. He knows his shit, but like, yeah, they went into the back corridor of the GCPD because they were going to get taken to another room because they were being annoying to Eduardo's men. But that scene really restored my faith. It's like, okay, Alfred and Bruce are badass because they have to warn Jim about what's going on. So they beat down those army guys. And yeah, that was just really cool. But there's another thing in this episode, and I almost was a bit worried about it feeling a bit too forced, but with the way Barbara has fluctuated throughout the seasons, like really, like season 1 to season 5, she has changed so many times, good and bad. And, you know, anyway, moving on, Barbara has really changed straight up. I mean, I know she's pregnant now and we kind of know that. It's very obvious until like she announced it. Really enjoying Barbara this season personally. Don't know about you, but this is the Barbara I like. So looking forward to seeing more of her. But yeah, anyway, Eduardo's men arrive at the Sirens. Riddler pretending was pretty cool, you know, in terms of how he was pretending to be controlled. I liked all of that and how he, you know, deceived Eduardo there. And when he threw that like butcher's knife in the guy's head, I was like, wow, I feel like we haven't seen gore like that in Gotham in quite a while. So yeah, whether you like gore or not, I thought that was pretty cool. Now for all the people saying, oh, is Teresa Walker like Sophia Falcone and stuff like that? No. But I definitely agree with you in terms of like when Bane was getting a comm from Teresa Walker when they were entering phase 2. She really does sound like Sophia Falcone over the communication. I get how people who may just have a fuzzy memory may be thinking, wait, is this Sophia Falcone coming back or something? She does sound like her, and yes, she does actually look like her a bit, but no, this is not Crystal Reed. This is not Sophia Falcone with plastic surgery or something like that. This is somebody else, and yes, I honestly do believe it's like Nyssa Al Ghul or someone like that. And it's very obvious, especially by the end of this episode, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Oh yeah, and Lucius Fox can perform brain surgery, okay. But no, I love Lucius Fox. I'll just let that go. I know he is, you know, he's kind of a jack of all trades in like expertise of like a lot of different things. But I don't know, the brain surgery a few times this season already is almost a bit too stretchy, but oh well. Like Nigma's got the chip out of his head. That's what they can use for evidence against Teresa Walker and Bane. I keep saying Bane, but oh well. But of course, Eduardo had something up his sleeve as well, and that is when we got the introduction again of Lee Thompkins. And she's still known as the Queen of the Narrows, which is interesting as well. But yeah, she later explains in the episode, and I'll get to that in a second, that, you know, she has been not remembering anything for 3 months. Now, if you've been watching my reviews all season long so far, I wasn't a massive fan of the Riddler storyline because it felt rehashy, but then I was starting to enjoy it. And I have to admit, when he went into the GCPD, I really did like that as well. Because, come on, man, Bullock, really? Like, he really answered the riddle. And obviously, this was all a plan to, like, distract Bane's men so, you know, they could knock everyone out and so on and so forth. I really enjoyed that scene. I'm really enjoying Corey Michael Smith this season. I mean, he's a great actor anyway, but I'm really enjoying the character as well, a lot more than what I thought I would. But this was all happening at the same time as the Jim and Bane confrontation at Haven. So this was very interesting as well. And, you know, those saying, you know, Jim couldn't take on Eduardo, I believe it because he's not Bane at the minute. They both served in the military. So Jim, you know, having plot armor, that is true. But I do believe the way it went down was somewhat believable. You know, that these are two military guys who could, you know, have a fair fight. This is where, if you listen carefully, Bane did talk about Peña Duro, or Peña Duro as he puts it. Now, this is very good. It's different because they haven't done Bane's origin exactly the same, but that's expected. So he was talking about how, you know, when he was in the military, this is after Jim left and everything like that, they were captured behind enemy lines, taken to Peñadura, and I still, like, you know, you can still imagine like somewhat of a Bane origin in your head. So, you know, he was left there to die, but Walker found him there, pulled Eduardo out, and gave him a purpose. Now, does this sound familiar at all? Anyone? Dark Knight Rises? You know, Daughter of the Demon and all that, Al Ghul, Teresa Walker just coming in. Yeah. But yeah, of course, we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But other than that, when Jim impaled Eduardo, yet again, another very gory moment. I knew that was coming. I knew he would be impaled. I don't know why. I just felt like that would be the way he went down. I felt like the way they showed it as well in the promo photos kind of gave it away. But yeah, it was just like fighting, and all of a sudden... It's just like, oh god. Like, but yeah, I kind of have an issue with the whole surviving thing. That's like, that's interesting too. But at the same time as all of this stuff, what's going on with Bruce? Well, I loved seeing that he was using his grapple hook to get on top of the GCPD so he could like get into that satellite. He had the comm stuff on. I feel like this is the most Batman-y, techie kind of moment we've had of Bruce all season. I know this isn't the only time we've had the grapple hook, but I feel like it's the most badass moment we've had from Bruce, where he, you know, that like bit when he was walking up to the army guy at the end, he just like kicked him in the face to knock him out. That was badass. Like, it just really was. But I did say that I would revisit Lee, and this bit really did make me laugh because, you know, more or less at the end of every season, there's some kind of monologue or whatever, just saying like, oh yes, I'm Jimothy Jim, I'm leaving Gotham, and then everyone is like, oh, she's back every year. You know, I feel like they poked something at this because when they were talking to each other, and she was like missing 3 months of time, going over the stabbings with Riddler and all that, she was like, right before the bridges came down, sorry, this was Jim saying this, you said you were leaving the city, and she just replied back, oh, I don't know, Jim, none of this makes sense. And I don't think that was deliberate, but it definitely made me laugh out loud because, yeah, Lee comes back every season. At the end of every season, she's like, bye, bye, bye. Yeah. But what I really liked about this scene between those two, and, you know, they're amazing anyway. I love Ben McKenzie and Marina Baccarin. I mean, obviously, you know, they're together in real life. Must be pretty fun working together, or not. That's an interesting one. But either way, I liked Jim talking about, or him admitting even, that he's been putting on a brave face ever since No Man's Land began, you know, pretending to know what to do, but really, he's just a cop and he's lost. Like, he's been, you know, faking it until you make it, so to speak. And I just really like that. It humanizes Jim Gordon. It shows the struggle. I feel like that was quite a cool character moment for him. He's been like presented as a pinnacle of light this season. Oh, Jim's just got to fix everything. Plot armor this, plot armor that. But no, he's just, you know, he's a real guy. He's just like, crap, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying my best. But going back to Eduardo, in true Gotham fashion, the guy's still there alive, like gurgling away like hours later because it's dark. It could not be hours later, fair enough. It might have got dark half an hour later. I'll give you that, to those who want to argue that. And I know, you know, if it's cold enough or something like that, it could, or the way he might have got impaled might not have let him massively bleed internally, but I don't care. I'm not going to nitpick that. He's alive. Okay, I accept it. I accept it. But that is when Teresa Walker comes along, and that is, yeah. I mean, if it's not obvious that she's the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, or one of them, and I'm thinking it's not going to be Talia, they're going to kind of change it up a little bit. She puts, like, the proto-Bane mask on him, if you will. My idea of what is going on there is that, like, he hasn't got the suit yet. That will come when Hugo Strange fixes him. As she said, that's what they're going to do, go to Hugo Strange. But right now, that mask, I guess, has a teeny bit of venom in it or something, and that's just kind of like keeping him alive until he's on the operating table. Looking forward to seeing more of Teresa Walker and the twist that, is it a twist if we're expecting it? I don't know. Maybe some of you guys really aren't expecting it. But no, she's not Sophia Falcone, to anyone who's really deeply conspiracy theory rising that. Of course, as well, we did get a little bit of Jay in this episode, and this takes us back ages ago. We saw this clip promoted way before Gotham Season 5 even aired, and that is when Alfred got kidnapped to essentially lure Bruce, you know, back. Was that Wayne Manor? I'm pretty sure it was, and, you know, he was like, how did you get off to the, you know, the mainland or whatever, and Jeremiah was just like, you know, the tunnel. So that tunnel, through persistence, it did actually get, you know, further and further along. Now, some people are theorizing that this could be the tunnel that the Batman uses in the Batmobile to get to Bruce's house. That I do like that. But, you know, when Jeremiah becomes Jay and the future Joker and all of that, well, then he would just know where to, like, surely he could put one and one together. I do like how they're adding this in. As I said, it's pretty cool. Like, the proto-Joker himself is adding or is building the Batmobile tunnel. I can't confirm that, but it is pretty neat, right? It goes under Gotham's river. But either way, we don't know for sure. That I like the idea nevertheless. But in case you couldn't tell where this is going, Bruce is going to be like, where's Alfred? He'll recklessly go right into Jeremiah's hands. That's when Bruce's parents are literally right there and then. And there's a whole promo about that. I'll break that down, don't you worry. As I said, it might be up tomorrow because I've got Doom Patrol to review. But other than that, guys, I laughed out loud when Barbara said, I'm pregnant. We all knew this was coming. We've been saying it for ages. But when Barbara literally said, do you remember that good time we had over there the other night? And when Harvey was like, say what? It just, I don't know, man. I love Harvey Bullock. I love Donald Logue. And that was just a perfect comment at the perfect time. And then, yeah, she was like, I'm pregnant. And then Lee was just like, that's my main. But either way, yeah, that is basically the episode. So yeah, it's quite a good episode. I know things are going very fast, but this was expected this season. You know, you've only got so many episodes. We were given an extra 2, but you know, some people saying, I didn't like how Eduardo showed his hand by the end of last episode too fast. I agree, but they can't really flesh that out any longer. They need to get on with it. So that's something I think we have to accept this season. But overall, this episode made me laugh. There were some cool moments in it. Some cool character moments. And I enjoyed myself. It was really good. And next episode, guys, is going to be a freaking huge one. If you're excited for Joker stuff. You know, it's going to be the episode where, you know, the chemical pit thing happens between Jeremiah and Bruce. Leave me all your thoughts or what you thought on my thoughts down in the comments below as well. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Get yourself some Boba merch. There should be like, not necessarily links down in the description, but like a little display of like where you can find my merch underneath the video. It might be on mobile, it might be on desktop, but it's a pretty cool feature of how I've linked Teespring with it. So check that out. I really like the designs. Some of you guys have already got it already. But other than that, other links are in the description, like my social media. Talk with me directly on my Discord server. It is really awesome in there at the minute. We're all loving it. So definitely come in there and say hi. Don't forget as well, I do have a Patreon down in the description where you can pledge to help fuel the content I create on this channel, but you don't do it for absolutely free. You do get something in return depending on what you go into. So check that out in the description down below. And thank you to all my current patrons as always. But I've been going on for ages now. So thank you so much for watching, Gothamites. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you very, very soon in the next video. Goodbye.